Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Goddess Quita. If I'm a Quita, either one would do. I answer to both. Please like, share, subscribe, donate, all that good jazz. If you want to read it with me, you can book it in the email. All that is in the description box below. Click that notification bell so you can be notified each time I upload. Let's get into it. This message is from Spirit. Excuse me, I just had to give myself a minute. I just had a peppermint so I can, a piece of candy so I can clear my throat chakra. So it said anybody who has been sodomized or their will was taken in a decision over their body, Spirit wants me to really minister to those two type of people. I'm not talking about people who willingly go and get into all this other wicked stuff. I'm not talking to those. I'm talking to the individuals who had no idea, who didn't know nothing, and who not certain is not having to do with nothing with karma. You just living life, and you just, it happened to you. You was unaware of how nasty this world can be. I'm kind of a victim of it too. I understand it. So I've been in your boat. Spirit say, I'm gonna speak on my experience as well, but Spirit is telling me that it's not your fault. That overthinking is a part of healing. The trying to rationalize is normal. Trying to understand the other person's point of view is very normal, and the hate is normal too. The anger, well, not that hate, the anger is normal too. Spirit said, don't hate the person, hate what they did. And this is very specific, only to a specific few people, maybe 100, but I can't stop, like, somebody is feeling really sensual. I can't stop, like, rubbing my thighs. Anyways, somebody's nervous, like they're trying to soothe themselves. I feel like somebody's trying to soothe themselves. But Spirit is saying, if this has ever happened to you, man or woman, it doesn't matter the gender, because nobody should have to suffer that kind of trauma. And unfortunately, we live in a world that will make you, there's people in this world that don't care about nothing and nobody, and they will do what they want, and that's sad. So from my personal experience, when something like that happened to me, I know the Holy Ghost came in and just like ministered to me. Like they didn't I don't know, I just didn't really cry about it. I had a different response than most people, and that's because of my thought process. I don't I just tried to understand, like, why would this, and I'm like, I'm a rational person. I like to ration out things. Even when it comes to emotions, I can be very rational. Just because 3 on the clock, just because of, I like to understand other people's point of view, and even if it's good or bad, it helps me to get over the situation. So maybe somebody needs to see the other person's point of view. Not saying that they're wrong, not saying that they're right in the situation, not saying that they're right, didn't suffer anything in the past, none of that. It just happened to do with that particular act against you. And Spirit is saying that maybe you want to see things from that person's point of view, because once you understand the behavior of a predator, once you understand their motives, and most of the things is only about power, then you'll understand that whatever they did to you had nothing to do with you. Even though they took your will away, they took your yes and your no away, they took that away from you. And Spirit is saying that it had really nothing to do with you. You was just an innocent bystander. And for me, that didn't too much comfort me, but it helped me to, like, oh, okay, this person is just like, those are the type of people you avoid. They have this and this traits, and I can't say what traits a predator have or don't have, because they are master of disguises. So at this point, all I can do is help you to get over those kind of deeds that were done to you. And Spirit is saying, just try to put yourself in a predator's shoes. It's not like I don't like this message. I'm having a hard time giving this message because of the amount of pain predators cause, but somebody had to give them that pain as well. Something had to trigger them as well. So Spirit is saying, in order for you to heal, whoever I'm talking to, 1 to 100 people, maybe a handful of people, Spirit is saying that their bottom line is that it had nothing to do with you. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes, even if they're a predator, it's just to gauge the way that they think, so you can be like, oh, okay, and then it'll make you more aware of not to get in this particular situation again. And not only that, people who are molested or sodomized, their will was taken away, 9 times out of 10 it's going to happen again. So that's why Spirit wants you to be aware of the particular mindset these people are and what they do, because once you have this to happen to you, you can actually, if you put yourself in the mindset and you really, it's always almost an overthinking, but not, it's an analytical process that you really go through to take yourself out of, I know, I'm not saying that don't act like it didn't happen, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, and Spirit is saying to take yourself out of the situation, take your emotions out of it, take the way you feel out of it, and look at it from a higher standpoint. Look at it as if you was God. Excuse me. Look at the situation as if you was God. Take all your emotions out of it, everything. And once you understand the cycle of a predator, it will help you not to get involved with those type of people again. That's all Spirit is saying. Somebody is struggling with their sexuality. They're struggling with why do they get into these different relationships that have these strenuous or these different colorful type of people. Now, I'm not talking about gay or straight. I'm talking about who have questionable characters, characteristics. I'm sorry, who are questionable characters but have questionable characteristics. They're not of good intent. You get what I'm saying? They're not of how can we put it? They're not of what you call an upstanding citizen. Okay, let's put it in that way. And so Spirit is saying, once you understand the mentality of a person, that will help to develop your discernment when you're around certain people like that. Some people naturally pick up on that, but I feel like you're struggling. When I say naturally, after it happened to them, they'll naturally pick up on that, because nobody in their right mind is going around, oh, that'll happen, and most of the time it's because somebody was brought up to protect themselves and to look out for that, or they saw a situation that happening from any point of view, family, friends, whatever, co-workers, whatever, however the situation happened, and then people start to get, okay, that's the signs. But Spirit said this has already happened to you, and they want you to get out your head about your value, about your self-worth. It had nothing to do with your value, it had nothing to do with your self-worth. And from experience, I can tell you, most people who do that, either they lack a conscience, number one. Number two, they lack power, so they enforce their power, or the little bit of power that they think they have on someone else. It could be from trauma. It could be so many different number of things, but a lot of times it have to do with power. And when people engage in activity like that, the number one thing is power, and you have to take your power back. Yes, that happened to you, but you don't. That's not who you are. You don't have to live your life in that particular way, because people who generally does that usually turn to prostitution, do things like that's harmful to their self. You know what I mean? Some people won't eat, some people overeat. They're engaged in harmful behavior, and not all the time that somebody that gets their will taken away gets, just go out there and just, I'm just gonna be sexual. No, sometimes they'll never be sexual again. It's so many different ways, because we're so multifaceted human beings, and so intricate that it can express itself, that particular trauma can express itself in other different ways. So it's not just one sign or one thing fits all. But Spirit said the bottom line is about power. The person trying to have power over you, and if they got your mind, then they got your power, because your mind is your power. And Spirit wants you to take back your power. Spirit wants you to get in there and realize and understand that what is the core value of the situation, and how to move forward. Once you know, take your power back. And I feel like taking your power back is in the understanding of who this person is. A lot of people get angry and mad. Yeah. That's a normal response. But for me, I just wanted to understand the person. I'm like, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and that's not me. I would never do this to anyone. And I feel like when that particular trauma happened to people, that determines who they're going to be. Like if you're going to be a weak version of yourself, of your before self, or you're going to be a stronger version of your before self. I particularly became the stronger version of my before self, simply because even before trauma, even before that particular trauma happened to me, I had other trauma that happened to me, and it's just like, God, just let me not be like them. That's always my prayer when I was growing up. I don't want to be like that person. It was a lot of people that I didn't want to be, and they inspired me to be the person that I am, because I saw them like, ooh. Even some of my ways, I wasn't a predator. I'd never have. I don't do that type of behavior. But even me myself. What I was going to say, I said me myself. Sorry. Even when I was younger and I had stuff that happened to me, they was an example. God, please God, let me be like that. If that money do that to people, please don't let me have no money, because that is ill. That's nasty behavior. Like, that's icky behavior. Even when I was young adult, I was naive to certain things, and when I saw myself, and I'm just like, oh. I need to change this. I just was that person. I need to change it. I don't like this about myself. I don't like that about myself. And it wasn't nothing physically. It was more so the way that I talk and the way I handled situations. I didn't like too much of, because I'm honest, and I'm just like cutthroat, and I had very low empathy for dumb-ish. And I had to realize everybody don't have the mental capacity that I have. Everybody don't have the mental capacity to understand. They have to go through things in order to get to where I already was. And I had to be, I won't say dumb myself down, I had to be more patient with people than I was. I lacked patience for people. I was like, it's easy, just do it. And it's not easy for everybody. And what's easy for me is 10 times harder for somebody else. What's 10 times harder for, well, no. But that's, you get my job. You get what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, we are who we are, and nobody's birth chart is the same, and nobody's mothers and daddies. So we got all different parents. Even siblings that come up in the same household with the same two parents are two totally different people. So that being said, it's important that we as a society help the least among us. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm pulling you back up out of that. God want me to pull you back out of that, because this is my gift back to society. Somebody told me about myself and helped me through some situations, and this is my gift back to you, to society, to the divine, is to help you come up out of this. And you're struggling with mental health issues. Spirit said, don't be ashamed to go talk to someone about it. Don't be ashamed to actually go and seek help, because even if you don't want this person prosecuted or whatever, just talking about it. Because when you hold, that's how that Pazuzu spirit holds you into this guilt when you don't talk about it, when you're afraid to talk about it, because that means you're guilty, you feel shame. You should not be ashamed of something that happened to your body that you didn't want to happen and you fought for it not to happen. You shouldn't have to be ashamed for that. When that happened to me, I was never ashamed. I was never ashamed. I threw up on her. I sure did. I threw up on her. I threw up on her. I couldn't help it. I did. I threw up on her. And it was just like, I threw up. Like, that was not for me. Okay? So, When somebody is forcing their will upon you, it's about a power. It's a power play. And once you understand that, and once you are not afraid, I'm not saying go talk to everybody about it. I'm saying somebody you trust, somebody you know you can trust, somebody you know you can rely on. I would go talk to a counselor, someone that has nothing to do with nothing, a professional. That's just me. But some people are not. Everybody not me. Some of y'all can go talk to family members or something like that, or a friend. But whoever it is, you have to talk about it. You have to get it out, because when you hold it in, that cycle replays in your mind, replays. And you know what? When it replaying, you know what you're doing? Setting yourself up for another situation like that to happen. Maybe some people don't even be the victim anymore. They become the predator. I know you don't want that to happen. And sometimes some people don't even become the predator or the victim. They just start sleeping with multiple people, or prostitution. It can go so many different ways, because your cycle wants to replay what has been done. That's why it's important to clean out your psyche. That's why God wants you to take your power back, wants you to take your soul back, because that's your power, that's your psyche, that's your body, that's your mind. And God wants you to take it back. Yeah, that happened to you, but you're not there anymore. That person can't do that to you. And if they can, then you need to get to safety. You need to get the safety, create a safety plan, get the safety as soon as possible. One thing about it, people tell you, well, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And what I found in my situation, I'm not saying every situation, is I had to speak up. I wanted somebody in my particular family group was trying to do it to me. I was a child. I'm just like, your own flesh and blood, and they stop. I'm not saying everybody person is going to do that. Somebody that's doing it to you isn't going to do that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm simply saying is, you would know sometimes you have to speak up. Having a closed mouth about certain things is not always good, and sometimes being quiet about it until you get to a place of safety is good. So it depends on, just please learn how to discern and assess the situation accordingly for your safety and for the safety if you got kids or anything else. You guys know. But a lot of times we fail to heal is because of we don't want to say anything. Oh, it was my mom. Oh, it was my dad. I tell my kids, I don't give a who it is. Somebody do this, that, that. You go tell somebody that's gonna listen. Okay? You go tell somebody that's gonna listen and that's gonna help you. Because I don't care. I don't care. It's nothing. That's not your fault. Anybody that ever been touching inappropriate, and especially if it's not on your own free will, it's not your fault. That's that person's action. That shame should go right back to that person. That person should get locked right back up, or whatever they need to do. That's that person's shame. That's not the victim's shame. And once you get that shame off you, that guilt off you, and that's what the devil, that's what the spirit of Satan don't want. So what the devil don't want, for you to get that shame off you. As long as they can hold you in that shame and guilt, he got you. And spirit don't want you to be there. Spirit don't want you to dwell in that place. So that being said, I'm out, you guys. Peace. I hope this helped, and I hope you heal.